But the biggest performance so far out of the new season in 2022 has to be the 3K this past weekend. The fastest 3K in D3 history, run by Aidan Ryan. The record books want it to be a 200-meter track. The D3 Glory Days record book doesn't care. The fastest 3K of all time, Aidan Ryan, and he's here right now with us.
Hey,
Hello, Aidan.
Welcome.
Thanks.
How you doing?
Doing fine.
Just fine. Anything special happened recently?
Yeah, still pretty amped from the race last weekend. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, let's go into it because we know you were entered in the BU 3K in December. We saw your name on that list. You scratched or didn't run or whatever. So what came into this trip out to Washington? I saw potentially it's your grad school home. So take us through what the decision process was to go out to Washington.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I'm thinking about doing a master's program there. I still have some eligibility to use, so I'd love to make the most of it. So I was already interested in visiting at some point. So the fact that there was an opportunity to go, and the meet was last weekend, so it just made sense. On top of the fact the Dempsey's a ripping track, and obviously a great field to get towed along, and because I had missed the BU meet in December, that was just there are only so many fast races that you could run, especially for D3. It's mostly flat tracks at our championships. So you got a couple BU meets. Like the fact that I could squeak in a meet at the Dempsey was hard to pass up.
Yeah. Did you chat with your coaches about that? Like let them know like, hey, I'm going to go out there and visit. Can I get in a race? Like what was that process like to get approval?
Yeah. Yeah, of course I'd talk to my coaches and ask permission.
You didn't just jump in and be like,
yeah,
hey, I mean, this race.
No. I put it on my coach's radar as soon as I heard it would be a possibility, just to get the gears turning, because I know, especially with COVID and traveling off campus and all the restrictions, I knew there would be some hoops to jump through, but I put that in my coach's hands and they took care of it. So
how has that been for you, kind of navigating COVID and everything? Have you guys had any like scares or anything? I know a lot of teams have had to miss out.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there've definitely been scares, a lot of close contacts, and people have to sort of lay low for a few days. It's definitely just a little nerve-wracking now, just with the testing protocols and the quarantine protocols and the return to play protocols.
Yeah.
So if you get it now, that sidelines you for like almost 2 weeks just with everything that you have to do. So like the day of a meet, like it's okay to maybe be exposed, but like the next day you don't want to be exposed because then you're going to be missing the meet in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
let's go into the race. As you mentioned, pretty star-studded field, probably headlined and won by Ben Blankenship, Sam Prakel also in the field. What are you feeling like starting the line, looking down and seeing, some pro athletes, and you got your Williams singlet on? How you feeling, right before the gun?
Yeah, that definitely. I noticed those guys for sure. Especially the Williams singlet. It's like this, like on the older side of Nike singlets. I mean, that part is just sort of cool to embrace, like the sort of underdog attitude. I have been in a few races now throughout college where, and I guess a couple in high school, where I just felt like, I was towing the line with guys who are way better. And in the past, I feel like I've had moments where I've let that become a little too I let myself become a little too starstruck maybe. So, I just had to say, you know what, like we're here to run fast. These guys are here to run fast. Like how bad could it be if I tried to hang with them? Like,
Yeah.
if I die and run a 65 last lap, like, so what? I'm probably still running pretty fast.
I liked your Instagram caption after the race. I was like, took a deep breath and just sent it. I think that was
Thanks. Yeah.
kind of encapsulates that mentality. So what was the goal kind of going into the race? Was the record on your mind? What were you thinking going into it?
Yeah, of course the record was on my mind. Like I wanted to run fast. I knew I could at least PR. It's been over 2 years since my old PR. So, I guess that would be like the lower hanging fruit. And yeah, I knew the race was being paced for 750. So I thought, perfect. If I'm at the back of the train at the mile, I'll be coming through and around like the pace that is appropriate for me. And like who knows? Like it could be something good. Like fingers crossed that something good is under the records, and luckily it was.
Nice.
What's the training been like if you were planning to do a BU 3K, kind of similarly, or not similarly, like close after cross country, now it's later in January, what's that look like for you since cross country's been over?
Yeah. So the moment cross country ended, I sort of had to regroup. I've been playing a lot of defense, battling injuries or just holding off little things all throughout the summer. Really, it started in the spring. And I got some imaging done right after nationals. Turns out that I had a stress fracture in, I guess, the spring or early summer, something like that. And that was, looking back, must have been something that I picked up in Boulder. And the problems related to that just lingered throughout the season. So come December, I wanted to just like try to just totally squash out all these little things and like just get fresh, get healthy, and build back a little bit. So my mileage has not been high. I mean, I started running again, I guess, a couple or two or 3 weeks into December. And then got in a couple good workouts when I was home over break. I guess that was after Christmas. Started jumping workouts again, and I guess things have just been clicking. I've just been doing, I guess, the right PT exercises or something. Good strides, I guess. A lot of strides.
Was there any like?
So it was a surprise.
Was there any like one workout that you hit and afterwards you were like, all right, I'm ready. I can go for that record.
Nope.
Just the strides.
I ran the strides. Like, I don't know, on Thursday I did a workout, and like towards the end I did a couple 400s at like 63, 64, and thought to myself like, okay, those still feel pretty hard. like let's just see how it goes.
Does this change what you think you can do this coming track season?
I guess a little. I mean, I think I could run faster than 755. Maybe before I thought I could run faster than 8 flat. So I guess it does shift the goalposts a little bit, but I do think I would have been in the same mindset whether or not I ran this race. Just I've always had sort of higher goals and still think I can run a little faster, and want to squeak out all those seconds that I can.
Yeah, so you broke 15 you broke 15 unofficially in the D3 books. Now you've broken 8.
Crush 15. Yeah.
Sorry, 14. Yeah, you destroyed 15. Yeah, you broke 14. You got 8. there's one more number out there that, you go for the trifecta. Is that on your mind?
Yep, for sure. Definitely going to try to run a fast mile at some point soon. As of now, we're entering in the BU meet in a couple, or not even a couple weeks, in like 10 days or whatever it is now, at Terrier.
Nice.
Because again, we don't get too many chances to run fast, so we're just gonna go for it. So we'll run the mile at Terrier and hopefully square that away.
Nice. Yeah, speaking of that sub 4 D3 mile, Jeremy Hernandez, he's running for Empire Elite right now. I followed them on Instagram. I ran with them like a week ago. Great people, but I saw they gave you like a shout out on Instagram. What's your sort of connection to them?
Yeah, well, I'm from New York City, and they're a New York team. Over COVID, they're one of their coaches, John Troutman, had reached out to me, just offering, to just link up on runs. Partly, because he knew that, it's COVID and training alone stinks, and probably because he thought I was graduating and maybe would try to, get me interested in the team if I was staying at home in New York. So I just sort of became friends with those guys and have joined them on a handful of runs. I ran with Jeremy just over winter break. We had a good workout.
Nice.
So that was with him. That was like the first sort of rust buster workout, and it was pretty tough and pretty fun to run with him.
That was awesome. Yeah, they're a great crew. They're so nice.
Yeah, they're really great. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So when you think, long term here, let's start with indoor nationals. Any idea of what you want to do? I'm sure there's some DMR talks, but you probably have some personal goals as well.
Yeah, I'll be most likely running the 3K, but also the DMR. We're definitely aiming for the DMR. Our plan, pre-COVID, our plan, I guess, right when, the meet was canceled, we were going to be running the DMR. I was also going to be running the 3K. I think there's no reason not to still do that double. I felt ready for it 2 years ago. I feel like it's still a good decision this time around. So we'll try to run a DMR and get qualified and really tackle that.
Yeah, and on your episode with Elias, we went into your all's breakthrough over the past spring here. Seeing him get runner-up at nationals, how are you feeling for your teammate, for your friend? I know you guys were joking around about the rivalry between you two, friendly rivalry, I should say, that would go on throughout the season. But how talk about your teammate Elias there for a second.
Yeah, watching Elias get second was so incredible and just bonkers to me. just from knowing where we came, like knowing his progression over the past few years, like he passed me at a certain point in cross country nationals, and like I didn't know that he was even still around. So it sort of surprised me. I was just like, oh, like I'm dying. We have 1,400 meters to go. Like I knew that he was going to be passing me and I wasn't going to see him again. So I'm just like, okay, Elias, like you got this, like go for it. And just because of the way the course shakes out, like I could see him making some really strong moves from my vantage point a fair ways behind and watching him just storm to the lead. I was just thinking like, oh my God, Elias is about to win. Elias is going to be a national champion. This is insane. Of course, he got second in a great finish. But I was just all smiles crossing the line. Just from like 50 meters out, I was like already starting to celebrate for Elias, and I just like immediately like ran up to him, and we were both really, really stoked to both run just really good, hard races. We left out what we could. And that's definitely more of that is representative of our relationship. It's not like a unhealthy rivalry at all.
I think in the
very
summer you guys
symbiotic.
said you wanted to make it a toxic rivalry just to make it toxic.
Yeah. We failed.
Yeah.
we can pick it back up though. I'll start writing him like mean texts or something.
There you go.
Yeah, just really discouraging.
So we're holding people to it if you want. You know, you've done some crazy things already. Sub 4 is on your mind. Any definitive times you want to speak into existence here on the double?
God, no, not really.
It's fine.
I mean, geez, so the record's 3:59:01. Like 3:59:00 would be pretty nice.
Take it.
Go.
I mean, hell, while we're here, like, what's the world record? Like 3:47.
Yeah, throw it anytime you want. That's what we'll take it.
3 minutes. I'm gonna be the first man under 3.
There we go.
Honestly, a DMR record attempt, I think, is also on the horizon. So
Nice.
we were like 0.0 whatever off of it
Yeah.
last time we tried. So regrouping and going after that will be pretty fun too.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, yeah, we're excited for you. 7:55:29,
Yes.
fastest ever 3K. Has it hit you yet?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
congrats
thanks
on
for
that.
hopping
Yeah.
on. Oh, sorry, Mike.
No, yeah, just saying congrats on that. It's excited what's next. It's gonna be fun watching. Glad we got you here on the first episode of the double.
Yeah, I really appreciate your support. Thanks a
For
lot.
sure.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, see you guys.
See ya.
Cool. See you, Aidan.